Last night you had a plan. This morning you have a phone. Everyone calls this laziness. Everyone is wrong. You are not lazy. You are two people, and only one of them shows up. This is the psychology of people who are lazy but ambitious. Start with last night, around 11. You were reading about someone who built the thing you keep meaning to build, and something lit up. You opened a note and wrote a plan. Gym at 7. The project before work. No phone until lunch. You went to sleep ambitious, honestly, truly ambitious. Then the alarm went off and a different person answered it. That person hit snooze twice and reached for the phone. That person scrolled for 40 minutes in the bed where the promises were made. By evening, the plan was untouched, and the guilt arrived on schedule. So you did what you always do. You wrote a better plan for tomorrow. Look at the loop from outside. This is not a lazy person's day. A lazy person would not keep writing plans at 11 p.m. It looks like two different people share your calendar. In 1981, an economist put that exact suspicion into formal theory. Richard Thaler was the kind of economist other economists found embarrassing. He collected the small, stupid choices real humans actually make. That year, he published a question about apples. Would you rather have one apple today or two apples tomorrow? Plenty of people take the single apple. Waiting feels expensive. Then he moved the same choice 1 year away. One apple in a year or two apples in a year and a day. Now almost everyone waits the extra day. Same apples. Same 1 day wait. The only difference is distance from now. Behavioral economists call the pattern present bias. The closer a cost gets to now, the larger it swells. In 1997, David Laibson turned that warp into mathematics economists still use. But Thaler and Shefrin had already taken the stranger step. They wrote a model in which every person is literally two people. A far-sighted planner who lives in the future, and a present-bound doer who lives in the now and pays every cost. One body, two tenants. They called it the planner-doer model. Your mornings were never a character flaw. They were a handover. But if you are two people, look at the contract between them. The planner works at night, and planning costs the planner nothing. Every cost lands in the future, which is where the doer lives. The doer wakes up holding invoices signed by somebody else. Gym at 7, signed at 11 p.m., due at 7 a.m. And the signature hides one detail: the signer never has to attend. Tomorrow, you as a fictional character, invented at night, staffed with real work. So ambition is the planner's pleasure. Starting is the doer's bill. You have been calling the doer lazy for refusing to pay. Watch what happens when scientists put this contract on a table. In 1998, two researchers offered office workers a simple deal. Daniel Reed and Barbara Van Leeuwen asked them to pick a snack. The catch: the snack was for next week. Choosing at that distance, about 3/4 picked the fruit. Healthy, sensible, planner food. A week later, the researchers came back, snacks in hand, and asked again. Now the choice was for right now. 7 and 10 took the chocolate. Same people, same snacks. The only thing that moved was the distance. Distance makes planners of us all. Proximity hands the pen to the doer. And your ambition is exactly this: fruit, chosen for next week. Which still leaves the cruelest part of the loop: the 11 p.m. guilt. Because the plan you abandon does not politely disappear. In 1927, a young psychologist sat in a Berlin cafe, watching the waiters. Bluma Zygarnik noticed they held entire unpaid orders in their heads. The moment a bill was paid, the order vanished from memory. She dragged the observation into a laboratory. People were given small tasks, and half were interrupted before finishing. Later, they remembered the interrupted tasks almost twice as well. Finished things get filed. Unfinished things stay open, humming. Your brain files an unstarted ambition as an unpaid bill. That is the 11 p.m. feeling. The kitchen calling out an open order. The guilt is not weakness, it is bookkeeping. And here is the trap. Writing a new plan quiets the hum for one night. Planning hands you the relief of progress with none of the risk. Now ask why the smartest people fall hardest for that. You could object, then the fix is simply writing better plans. In 1994, 3 psychologists timed that idea against reality. Roger Bueller's team asked students finishing their theses one question. When, realistically, will you be done? The average answer, 34 days. The average reality, 55. Fewer than a third finished by their own realistic date. So the team asked for the true worst case, if everything went wrong. Even the doom estimates fell a week short of reality. Kahneman and Tversky had named this in 1979, the planning fallacy. The planner does not write plans, the planner writes fiction. Optimism is the planner's love language and the doer's debt. But there is a darker reason the start keeps slipping. Sometimes the delay is not weakness at all, it is protection. In 1978, Stephen Berglas and Edward Jones ran a disturbing experiment. Students took a test and were told they had aced it. For half of them, secretly, the problems had been unsolvable. Pure lucky praise. Then came a second test and an offer of 2 pills. One pill supposedly sharpened performance, the other blunted it. The students whose success felt like luck chose the blunting pill. Read that again. They chose the handicap. Because a drugged failure proves nothing about you. A real one does. The researchers named the move self-handicapping. Never quite starting works the same way. The delay is an alibi. While you are still about to start, nobody can measure you, including you. Ambition stays perfect exactly as long as it stays untested. So the two of you are deadlocked until you watch who actually wins. In 2002, 2 economists watched people try to outrun their own present bias. Dan Ariely and Klaus Wertenbrock gave 3 classes the same papers to write. One class got evenly spaced deadlines, non-negotiable. One class got total freedom, hand everything in at the end. And one class chose their own deadlines, which then became binding. The free class did worst. The forced class did best. The self-binders landed in between, ahead of freedom. People who tied their own hands beat the people who trusted themselves. The winners were not negotiating with the doer every morning. They removed the negotiation the night before. Odysseus never out-argued the sirens. He asked for the rope, which turns this whole story upside down. Because all along, you have been blaming the wrong tenant. Count the evidence against the planner. The planner signs contracts the signer will never attend. The planner's schedules miss reality by weeks, even in doom mode. The planner plans, feels the relief, and goes to sleep a hero. The doer, meanwhile, is the only one of you who has ever done anything. Every rep, every page, every hard call. The doer, alone, paying. The morning person is not sabotaging your dreams. The morning person is refusing checks that were always going to bounce. So look one last time at the plan you wrote last night. every night it gets written, and every night it buys another day of never being measured. So, 2 letters. The first goes to you at 11 p.m. Your job was never motivation. Your job is contract design. Write nothing the 7 a.m. person would refuse to sign. That means a first step so small, it almost embarrasses you. Below the exchange rate, refusal runs out of excuses. And when it truly matters, do what the winners did. Make it binding. A promise with an exit is entertainment. A promise without one is a start. Stop drafting the epic. Draft the first sentence. Plans do not need to inspire anyone. They need to survive the morning. The second letter goes to whoever is reading this at 7 a.m. You are not the villain of this story. You never were. You are the only one who pays, so you hold the only real power. Veto. Use it honestly. Veto the fiction. Accept the 10-minute contract. 10 minutes opens the file, and open files hum until they are finished. Let the bookkeeping finally work for you instead of against you. And retire the word lazy. It was never a diagnosis. Lazy is just the name one of you calls the other. One question is still open, and it is bigger than this video. Last night you had a plan. Now you know who wrote it and who read it. 2 tenants, 1 body, and rent that clears the morning the contract gets honest. You were never lazy. You were mispriced. Next time, where that dream of yours actually came from, and who you copied it from.